Okay. We are in executive session, and I'm gonna come out of executive session to a special meeting, in that special meeting, and then we're gonna start our meeting. So it's just a procedure. At this time, I'd like to, the time is now, approximately 12:05. I would like to come out of executive session with no decisions made. If there's no further questions, I'd ask for a second.
I will second that motion.
With that motion having a second, I would ask for a roll call when ready, ma'am.
Trustee Fleshman.
Yes.
Trustee Laser.
Yes.
Trustee Blevins.
Yes.
Okay. So gentlemen, at this time, the time is now approximately 12:05, 12:06. I ask if there's any further motions from the board.
Nope. not
Hearing
special
none,
meeting.
we are adjourned. Now I get to do. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Franklin Township Board of Trustees meeting. Today is November 13th, 2025. It is approximately 12:03. Sir, would you open us in prayer?
Yeah. Heavenly Father, we just ask you, Lord, to be in the midst of this meeting. Watch over this township, Lord, and the people that live here, and watch over the first responders that serve. And give us trustees your mind's eye of what you would have done in this township. In Jesus' precious and holy name we pray. Amen.
Give me a minute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ma'am, if I can have a roll call when ready?
Trustee Fleshman.
Yes.
Trustee Laser.
Yes.
Trustee Blevins.
Yes.
Okay, old business, update on the progress of 1589 and 1593 Harrisburg Pike. The demolished permits have been submitted. Is that correct, sir?
That is correct.
You have anything else on that for us?
Nope, just very, very happy that Mr. Smith, turned those in, and a little communication error with them, but everything's heading in the right direction.
He's followed through with everything that he said, John. He had those
Sure.
2 box containers there that he told us at that meeting that would be out of there, and they're gone.
Sure.
I feel good about what he said he's doing.
I won't bother with that.
If we just had more responsible people that would do that, I mean, I know we were a little firm with him, and I think, just because I'm gonna say we've been burnt in the past, or the residents, and he's really trying to do something, so I appreciate, this board appreciates that he's done the right thing there. Ma'am, do you wanna give us an update on the junk cars, or?
Yeah, the 2215 Harrisburg Pike, they confirmed they'll have the vehicles removed by the end of the month. They did come in person and stop in and talk to Nicole. And then, since they said the end of the month, we'll review everything at the beginning of December to make
Okay.
sure that they comply to what they promised. And then there's a duplex on Dura Road that when they went by, the RV that was part of our
Sure.
observation has been removed from the property.
Okay,
And then on that, John, so we'll do 2215 when Nicole and I go out for the next meeting, and that property that you spoke to me about.
Yes.
I'm gonna circle back to that, and then I'm gonna have 5 prepared for the next
Okay.
meeting in December.
okay, and then I forget the road, what is it across from Briggs High School? There's the one that has some older cars sitting. Jim,
Eureka.
You're talking about deer?
remember the one that 4 years ago had a mountain of trash? Was that
That's
Deer?
Eureka.
Eureka.
That was great.
I'll have to look at my notes again from when I was out. They have some cars that are just sitting there. I mean, they're antiques. I mean, they could be restored and be worth a lot of money, but there were some that were sitting there as you go in just before it goes to the point.
I just
So-
didn't prepare anything for this
Sure.
meeting,
No
because I
worries.
spoke to you with your surgery
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah. Since we are on this topic, Chief, do you have any update with Peabody? I mean, as far as Peabody with the signage and,
Signs are up that we have, the no parking signs are being
Okay.
enforced. I emailed the representative, Mike, about the property, having it
Mm-hmm.
leveled out. I got a contact, so I'm waiting to hear back. Not sure he's gonna be the one, he's with railroad police, but he can at least get me to where I need to go.
Sure.
Um,
so
Has anybody been over there, like, just recently in the last week?
I've been there last
Okay, so
hour.
like, I'm shocked at the railroad ties that are there. Did you guys see the
Yeah.
railroad ties? And stuff, I'm assuming those are old railroad ties that
Mhm.
came from the construction where they had Mound shut down and they had Briggs shut down. I'm sorry.
When they were putting new.
I believe so, and they're stacked up there and everything. I'm sure there probably is a plan to come in there and get them hauled out all at one time, but I was just amazed when I went through there yesterday with all those railroad ties
Big
stacked up.
stack.
They did a
Yeah, it
good
was
job,
amazing.
neatly stacked. My question is, if they had a couple of those and they put it on the backside of the signs, would that keep people from going in there? Or would we want that look, or would that be,
Well, the railroad told us no,
okay,
because remember we asked about the cable to block that off.
oh, yeah, and they said no?
They said no. 'cause of
Okay.
liability.
Okay, so I did send, a picture to the lieutenant, before this meeting, I don't know if he shared it with you. But now when you are going in on Midland, before you get to the curve, now they're parking on the side of the fence, whatever's on that other side, but facing the wrong way. So they're moving from in the curve to around the curve to up against the fence. And then, Jim, do you know if, when you go around the curve and you go down, probably the first house, I know a guy usually uses his garage, but there are several cars sitting there facing the wrong direction. I didn't know if it was from this place or the residents that is parking. I mean, I don't wanna create havoc with residents having a place to park, but, I'll just show it to
Talking
you.
about the first house on the left?
I'll show you, cause I took a photo today, and sent it
I
to
don't know
the,
if that would be a Jim issue, I think it'd be a police.
well, I'm just curious, are we have the signs, but the sign didn't go that far down.
Had them move, we got.
Yeah, that's a gentleman, that's a first house, and we've got signs, cause this is an open field here,
Sure,
and then that gravel starts right in front of his house right there, and that's
Right.
where he'd been parking at.
right, so does this sign here afflict on him parking there?
No.
Okay, because it just says no parking and has from here pointing that way, so I thought he would been in the wrong. See
I'd
this,
have to go look, but yes.
because if you look at the sign, it says no parking, and then it says that direction.
You probably had the double arrow on it.
No, it has a single. Maybe you're right.
It does have a.
It does have a double
It
arrow.
should have had the single coming back towards that building instead of his house.
Okay.
His house.
Okay, so I just didn't want to create havoc for someone
Yeah.
that is potentially parking in front of their own house.
Swap that side.
Okay, so we got that clear. Okay, so at this time, I'm gonna move on to our guest speaker. Ryan, is it Faden?
Sir, that is Ryan McFadden.
Fadden.
I'm standing in place of Ryan.
Okay.
So I will-
No worries.
Yes, sir. So, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I am Simone Delaney. Ryan is our Irish colleague, and I'm the Italian colleague. So, I'm sorry, my name is much more difficult. But we appreciate the time given us today to tell you about our company and our services. Again, my name is Simone Ugolini. I'm from GBS in Youngstown. My colleague with me is Matt Rayino, also from GBS in Youngstown. We are an employee-owned business that does document management. Document management in the form of scanning of records, storage of records, and then retrieval and providing you ways to access those records. So our understanding is that Franklin Township, just like every other government we serve, is has their hands full with paper documents. They're starting to take up an amount of space that's probably getting uncomfortable or difficult to work with, difficult to access. Matt and I come in, evaluate your situation with you, and lay out options and plans of how you can address the digitization of those records. So why do people do that, or why do our customers do that? To protect the records. So all of those records are the history of Franklin Township. And if something were to happen to the records, lots of different issues come to exist. So number one, we want to archive them digitally and protect them. Secondarily, and sometimes these secondary reasons are the real driving factors for why people do it, access. So as the records continue to grow, access becomes more and more difficult or more time consuming, where your valuable personnel is spending a large amount of time just trying to find a single document or record that's been requested. Space is another issue that all the governments that we work with and non-government customers, they're looking to reclaim their valuable space. So because it's not an unlimited commodity, people need to use their space more wisely, and that's something that we can come in and help you do. We have a service in shredding documents as well. So for customers that we take documents and digitize them, sometimes our customers do not want them back. Depends on what they are, of course. But for those customers that just want the digital output back, we have certified shredding from our office in Youngstown. So just real quick to backtrack, GBS has been in business since 1971. Again, we're employee owned, so we are all vested in the success of our customers and our government partners. We have probably about 30% of our business is government in Ohio. Mostly local government, village, township, county, and municipal government. We do have some different accounts with the state where we digitize records. Our business or our company is HIPAA High Trust certified. When we're talking about medical records, that's extremely meaningful, but what that means to your team is that we take a number of measures to ensure that your documents, regardless if they're medical records or not, are being properly handled, properly stored, safe, and basically we don't provide any avenue for them to be mishandled, lost, etc. So we treat them with the utmost care regardless of the record type. We commonly scan things like contracts, permits, financial documents, engineering drawings, basically anything you have that's a business minutes. We do docket books and ledgers, books that can be disassembled and books that can't. It doesn't matter. We have equipment to do all of that different type of scanning. So we offer the box storage, the shredding. We have provided you with a packet that gives you the long version of who we are and what we do. Today we're hoping to just tell you about this service. And if there's any interest whatsoever, or if this is a topic matter that you'd like to talk about more, Matt and I would be thrilled to come back at a different time and go over anything that you'd like in more detail, assess what you have. A lot of our plans for our township and government customers are, hey, this is a multi-year approach. Our budget is not going to permit us to scan everything at once. That's absolutely fine. We actually have no minimum amount that we would come get. We travel through this way a few times a month, picking up boxes from our government customers down as far as Hamilton County and Cincinnati. We make a big loop around the state. We're actively doing a large project for Sims Township down in that area where they're just unloading their records room incrementally. So they're trying to get it digitized so that they can stop the madness with the growth of the records. Not only is this a service that we do for the archive documents, the ones maybe upstairs that are historical, but we can posture you, if it's an objective, to be digitizing your documents more in real time to where that never becomes a scenario again where you have everything in paper. We work with the police departments and a number of our government customers that have different needs for our services. One of the active projects we're doing down in Fairfax, again, down near Cincinnati, they needed a time card solution. We have software that piggybacks with all these other services. It's very affordable. It's a monthly subscription software that lets us address business needs that are sometimes hard to afford a core system that does something just like that. So we do a lot of different things that I'd be happy to tell you about when your agenda is not so full. Again, for today, I'd encourage you to look at the packet. On the back, we have a list of almost all of these are more so our active government customers for whatever it's worth. In the greater Columbus area, we're actively working with Delaware County, Grove City Mayor's Court, New Albany, Hilliard, Pataskala, Groveport. We did cemetery records, which is a hot topic right now for everybody, digitizing the cemetery records. Gahanna, we do scanning for Honda and Marion. Modular Assemblies, our non-government customer in Dublin. So, with all that said, and again, I am most grateful for the time. Are there any questions at this time that Matt and I can answer?
So at this time, I'll open up the floor to the, to the board. Anyone have any questions?
So I understand it, I had this question in my mind, but I think you answered it. So you do not do the work on site here, you come around, pick up the records and take them back with you and then digitize them?
Yes, sir.
And, okay.
We offer on-site scanning. It's extremely costly.
Yeah, well, and we just don't have a bunch of space, unfortunately.
Yeah. That is the most common service we offer is the pickup. You know, we're in Youngstown, so we know we're serving this large customer base, and since in the greater Cincinnati area and everything in between, we know that we have to keep those transportation fees very reasonable because they'll go find somebody else to do it. For a lot of our customers, based on the number of boxes that we're going to be picking up, if it's less than 40 at a time, we have no transportation fee because we're coming this way anyway. And that's a big differentiator for us because you'll have local providers that are going to charge you a few $100s to show up with a truck. So it's been a model, especially for our government customers, that's worked very well for us, and it's allowed them to, you know, attack this usually in phases because it's often not reasonable to try and do it all in 1 year's budget, just depending on how much you have and how much you plan to digitize.
Sir, do you have any questions?
The live document storage, is that in a cloud that we can access
Absolutely.
at any time?
Yes, sir. That's exactly what it is. From home, from the office, from your mobile phone, from your iPad. I'm going to tell you, 8 years ago, we had 2 versions of our software that provides the access. The access is, let me pause. The access is not a requirement, but if you don't just want the PDFs or the digitized versions on a hard drive where you have to plug it in and then search, we have this software library that we could load the documents into. As you're saying, you can log into them with credentials, and basically based on your permission that you've been given, you could see all of the records or some portion of the records depending on the record type. So I'll give you an example. For let's say the city of Sharonville, we do court records and we do tax records. The tax users don't want to see or don't need to see the court records, even though they're public record. But the court staff is not permitted to see the tax records. So it's granular and it's permission like that. It's very user friendly. It gives you a search screen depending on the record type. So something like permits. Hey, I know the permit number 12345. If you know it. Here it is. It gives you the image front and center. You can print it, you can email it, or you could just look at it and dismiss it. If you don't know the permit number, we give you alternative ways to search it. It's a very robust solution that I'd love to show you in a demonstration at another time, obviously. But that's a great question. So again, alternatively, you can also run the software here if you have like a server and IT resources. It doesn't have to be in the cloud. But that's the most popular version of the product. And what I was going to say, 8 years ago, we didn't even bring up the cloud to government customers because they never wanted to do it. They wanted everything in-house. Since that time, things have vastly changed where even our government customers prefer the ease of the cloud because it alleviates the housing of a server, the maintenance of that server, the risk of having it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a very convenient, low-cost solution. We have customers of all shapes and sizes. Matt and I, at some point in early December, will make our next trip and pick up probably a box or 2 from the city of Reading, and just go from there. And we do it with a big smile on our face because we're happy to have our customers, and that's what we do. So there's nothing too small, and we'd like to say there's nothing too large either. But we do that all year long. And again, if we had a $500 pickup fee, you'd laugh us out of the building and say, thanks, that's great, but that's no help. We keep that pickup fee either excessively low or at no charge for our government customers. Again, it goes back to what we would be picking up.
Well, we would welcome you to Columbus, Ohio, and you'd be in the center, and then you could go north and
That's
south.
right. That's what we.
Instead of going as far north as you can.
Yeah, that's right. No, this is where we're concentrating our business development, and we feel fortunate to have the government customers that we do. We want to expand. There's lots to do here in the Columbus area, but I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, that's because, the fact that you go every direction, you only can go south when you go.
That's right.
So
Can I make a
yes.
recommendation, John, if
Yes.
you don't care? Are you done with that?
I had one quick thing.
No, you go ahead and ask him then, because
So- and this would be a Robin thing. I would love to see what kind of software they're talking about as far as timekeeping. Is it something that would streamline what we do? And
Right, I mean, it's worth an opportunity to allow them to come back
Yeah.
and share it more in depth. I think that
Yeah.
he's expressed that.
Yes.
So I think it would be, the board, entertaining from the board to decide, because I think there's a lot of things you offer. I mean, I made some notes of different things. I mean, even with the HIPAA, I mean, we have historical BWC counts that are closed. I mean, they're no longer a part of who we are, but we've got them locked in the file cabinet because we don't have the proper, the proper retention plan as far as like preserving them. So we just keep them locked in a cabinet. When he's got a HIPAA that he falls under, which then will protect those.
sure,
And I know that as much as we move furniture around in the offices, that the
that's
staff would appreciate not having such heavy file cabinets to drag around. If we can get rid of some of these things that we're preserving in our own way,
and that they can shred it.
and then once they're digitized, then we can begin that record
You
retention
got
restore
forbid a
process.
fire.
Exactly.
That's perfect disaster recovery.
Yeah,
Or if
God
our
for-
roof would leak
A roof
upstairs.
would leak, fire,
Upstairs, all
something
those
like that.
records, we're talking, that the township was created in the early 1800s, and we've got stuff that's up there that it's very old,
Yeah.
at least over 100 years old. And those are things we can never get back.
Right.
And at our fingertips, we'd be able to pull those things up and maybe even expand and educate the citizens on some of the records, because we could share some things,
Sure,
depending upon what the history is, and build off that.
sure.
So since we just got these,
Mm-hmm.
would you gentlemen be interested in taking a look at them? And then we get together again, and then if we decide to, bring these fellows back in, I would happily be the liaison for
Sure.
this and pick up on it and work on this project and then report back to the board to get it's basically to bring you in, see what we have, you'll give us a price and things like that. We're not signing any contracts, we're not making any decisions, but I just don't like getting handed something like this when we're at the meetings. I've said it numerous times, so I'd
Yeah.
really like to take the time to look at this. I believe we're gonna be back together next Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
If we could just put that on there to knock it off, and I would be happily to get back in touch with these fellows and, have them come back in. I would probably need to bring Robin in on it because she's got the knowledge, so see how you guys feel.
I'd make a motion that, Mike, you take the lead and be the liaison for the board with communications with GBS,
Yes, sir.
and get back to us.
I'm happy to do it.
Okay.
So
I made the motion,
I'll
so.
second it. Am I allowed to put the?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So there's a motion on the floor to accept. We have a second on it. And ma'am, if you'll do a roll call when ready.
Trustee Fleshman,
Yes.
Trustee Laser,
Yes.
Trustee Blevins.
Yes,
And what meeting is Tuesday? Caught my ear. You said next Tuesday?
we have the 2026 budget meeting.
Yeah.
and,
That's right.
insurance
Were
meeting.
we able to,
It's noon, I believe.
you and I spoke on that, are we able to change that time? Because I know that,
It was originally set up for 9, you have a doctor's appointment.
okay, yeah.
You asked it to be moved to noon.
It
We
is.
sent out communications and
Okay.
it
12
came
p.m.
back, so we put noon.
Gotcha.
So, for the sake of the agenda and everything, are you guys good with what we just did? And then I'll reach out, let me go through this,
Absolutely.
get back with them, and you'll hear from me within a little over a week or so, and we'll make a time that we can get together. When you guys, I'll do it to your schedule, like when you're on your rounds and you can
Yeah.
stop in, and we'll get together with Robin, take you upstairs, show you what we got, and try to get some, I like to use the word ballpark figure, what we're looking at.
Yes.
Sir, that's exactly what we were hoping for. So
Okay.
what you're suggesting is more than we can ask. Where there's never an obligation of we're going to come down and do that discovery with you guys, and it may result in discovering that you don't want to do it or that you're not going to do it, and that's absolutely fine. But we're going to help get you there armed with information, and that's what we were hoping to
And so
accomplish.
you can see how we work here is we don't have an administrator any longer, And so we all take small bites of things, and so I'm happy to take this on. I will report back to the board and we will move forward like that. So,
Much appreciated.
yeah, thank you for coming
Okay.
in today.
Absolutely.
Thank
Thanks,
you very much.
everyone.
Thank you for coming.
Have a great day.
So moving
Thank
on,
you.
we don't have the sheriff's department here, so Southwestern Area Commission, Patty Spencer.
You added to my to-do list today, didn't you?
Yeah,
Just for some information, since, Tuesday was a holiday for everybody, there was no city meeting, there was no area commission meeting, so we've moved it to next Tuesday, the 18th, 6:30. I know you guys have a meeting earlier in the day, we should not conflict.
okay,
Okay, we just have a returning person coming to us that, was in non-compliance of some code enforcement, so it's nothing major. Your request for 800 Frank Road, if I remember correctly, I got notification from the city in September that something had moved on that particular property. All I got was information, just that. I've got no other supporting documentation yet from the
Okay.
city saying they're moving forward. At next meeting, I will have that printout for you. If it's
Okay.
moved by next meeting, I'll let you know that. And I know it's concerned because I remember telling you it was 800 Frank Road was sitting right next door to Franklin Township property.
right,
So, I just wanted you to be aware that there was gonna be something next door to you.
okay,
But I have nothing yet. If I do, I'll bring it. I'll bring just the printout that I got that just said, hey, something's gonna happen.
sure,
For Columbus, November 19th, Councilman Dorans, is going to have a public hearing to discuss the proposed legislation for the Columbus Growth Strategy, an initiative to modernize Columbus's 70-year-old zoning code, to create a first citywide land use plan. So right now, all the little area commissions, we sort of have our own, what we want to see happen in our area. This is a push from the city to make everybody on the same playing field. So, if you are interested, it will be held, from 5 to 7 p.m. at the council chambers, again on November 19th, which
Downtown.
is next week.
is that the one on Front Street, or where?
Yes.
Yeah, okay,
Also, last week, City Council passed legislation to address pay inequity. And this is for anyone who may want to get a job with the city, I guess, and in Columbus overall. It's to address pay inequity and increase transparency in the hiring process through a Columbus Forward initiative. And the first piece of legislation passed through Columbus Forward and will require Columbus employers to include reasonable salary ranges in all job postings. So job seekers will know upfront what positions will pay and make the hiring process maybe a little bit easier for everybody. So that's just the latest from Columbus. That's all I have.
okay. So at this time, I'll open the floor for any questions for Patty. Hearing none, I will close the floor. Thank you, Patty.
You're welcome.
Moving on, November and December regular meeting calendar adjustments. So, Robin,
I just figured that with our next scheduled meeting that's on the calendar is scheduled for Thursday, which falls on actually Thanksgiving Day.
it's on Thursday again this year. It was
It
on
is.
Thursday last year,
Yes,
too.
it was, absolutely.
Wow, 2 years in a row.
And then the same thing happens at December. December the 25th would be a scheduled meeting date. So I didn't know, I wanted to present to the board options for discussion on if you wanted to move those meetings, cancel those meetings, it's at the discretion of the board, but I wanted to bring it to your attention so the public would be transparent on the end of the
Sure.
year coming through.
So on the meeting on the 27th, anyone has do we have anything pressing that we need to meet for? We don't know yet, but I mean, we're pretty much caught up on everything, is that correct?
I mean, to my knowledge, but I don't know what you guys have going
Does the
on.
board-
Well, since we're gonna have that
Subcommittees.
meeting next Tuesday, that could almost
Certified
suffice
report.
for the meeting
Okay.
for that. We have to come together next Tuesday to get that 2020
Budget.
Yes, budget done and insurance.
Okay, so then, if there's no objections, we will forego the meeting for November 27th.
Okay.
If we post that.
So
And
do you
then,
guys just wanna do a motion for everything once you get your decision?
Yes.
Okay.
yeah, and then for December, the 25th, that's the day after Christmas, correct?
No, it is
Or is Christmas?
It's
Yeah,
Christmas
Christmas,
Day.
24th is, okay, Christmas
So I
Day.
didn't know if you were gonna move it
It's on
or,
the 25th this year.
25th is Christmas.
In the past, we've foregone that
We've
meeting,
organized that, yeah.
so.
yeah, it's at your
does the
discretion,
board
I'm just bringing it
have
to your
We can
attention.
always come together if we have to, but I
Right.
say go ahead, myself, I would say go ahead and cancel.
I would say that too.
So with the board, desire, we will forego that due to the holiday. If need to have an additional meeting, we will then post for a special meeting
So your post for special as needed?
as needed, if needed, for the month of December as well as November. But it doesn't appear that there will be. Any other questions from the board on that? Hearing none, I would ask for a motion to accept the new calendar date for the next November date and December date.
You're asking for the motion or you're making?
No,
the
no,
motion?
I'm making a motion, asking for a second,
I will
sir. I
second.
apologize.
That's okay. Want to be correct for the record?
Yep,
Okay. Ready for roll call?
I'm ready for roll call.
Okay. Trustee Fleshman?
Yes,
Trustee Leeser?
Yes.
Trustee Blevins?
Yes,
okay, so everyone's got that on the dates that were the 27th. We are gonna take that off unless there's something we absolutely have to come together. And then again, on Christmas Day, there's no sense trying to get together on that date. If we need to hold a meeting, we'll post it for a special meeting in order to get the people's work done. So moving on is discussion on the phone service. I went through this service. Whoever did the write-ups or the work on that, I think did an excellent job. It sounds very good. The only questions that I have that I first realized, I didn't realize that the phone service had changed until I had people saying they were having a hard time getting a hold of someone. So I'm like, well, X, Y, and Z, you know, and so I finally decided after like the fourth person telling me, calling in myself. What I have done is I went through this. Number 1 is police, 2 is fire, 3 is road, 4 is building, 5 is physical, 6 is yourself. When you call the police, you have 3 choices, but yet you can't get a hold of anyone. Again, then at the end, it will end up looping back over here to the administration office. Me as one trustee, I feel that I liked what it said in those choices, but I think it needs to add some prompts to that, because if you want to talk to the lieutenant or the chief, it should ring their desk. If they're not in, they would get a message. They could call the residents back. Fire is the same thing, and I think we need to say who we are. With the fire, I like the 2 choices that they have. It gives them, for someone calling in, it was purely clear. If you are wanting a zoning issue for homes or etc., here's the number to call to the county. Beautifully done. But I believe if we want to talk to Captain Breaker, should say for Captain Breaker, we need to push X. Then they could leave a message for him personally, because really we don't know who the fire person is because it doesn't even say. Road department, perfect. Yours rings right to you. It works out great. The administration office we don't currently have a we don't currently have a, administrator at this time, but, you know, at some point we can then correct that. But with the, we need to have between, in my opinion, police, after the building and before you, secretary. People understand the word secretary that has lived in this township forever, and they want to call, they can just hit 0 and get a question answered. By having the police, fire, road, and building prior to getting to between 4 and 5, that would give them, like, there's no sense in her saying, well, let me send you over to the police, let me send you to fire. They would have already been able to do that option. But a lot of our seniors usually know hit 0, and then you want to just talk to a live person. The consensus of me just coming off of a campaign and talking to so many people, they're saying it's as if nobody wants to talk to anyone. They just want to send you to a website or send you here, and I just want to talk to someone, and when did this change? So that's how I come to know this. So I think between 4 and 5, or number 5 should be 0 and be the secretary, and then that would be my only changes to this. I do like number 9 option for information. Of course, it's going to come back, but that was really good information.
Okay, so for me, I worked on that project,
Yes.
and you had sent me information, wanted me to look at it, and I looked at it again through your eyes, and I'm fine with doing what you're asking to do to move secretary under, it was building, correct?
Yeah, just under building, because it would
I'm
be,
good with that.
you can't really have it between 4 and 5, so really you're moving it down.
Do you have anything, James?
No, you can also add to any of the messages at any time, press 0 to get the secretary.
Yeah. That's a good thing too, because, I mean, the amount of calls we get, I don't know how many we actually get, but, I know you get a lot with the brush, and I like the way yours was. Then you can get your own message, and then you can call those people back. I thought that was beautiful.
Log it and call them back.
And the same thing with Robin, you same way, you know, then the person, you know, and you said who you were. But I believe we need to use our titles for the chief, and then also for fire. If someone wants to reach you, you've reached, you know, Chief Arnold, and leave a message, and then you personally can return their calls, especially if someone has a question from the township. I don't think that we're going to overburden our department heads with phone calls, because that's what we kind of did before. But it gives the public the opportunity to say, I want to talk to my police chief or my lieutenant over a question, and et cetera. And it doesn't feel as if we're sending them in a loop, making it very difficult to talk to someone. So if we're all like-minded, then I would just make a motion that the changes as discussed, Mr. Blevins will handle it correct. Are you going to move forward, or do you want someone?
I don't wanna do it a third time, so all I'm asking for when we're doing this, we're gonna move secretary underneath building, and you want the department heads calls to go directly to the department heads' phones. Is
Correct.
that what we're speaking about?
Correct. Now, for instance,
Yours is okay, not,
Yep.
we're basically talking about changing Byron's and Bob's to
yes.
where they can get calls to their phone and they can return phone calls.
Yes, but I do believe that when you go through the options, those options should be first, because if someone is calling a Captain Breaker in regards to a permit because they want to put a fence up, then they hear option 1 and they hear, well, you just need to call that. There would be no reason for them to have to leave a message, and then they already got the information and the phone number. But at the end, I believe Mr. Breaker has 2 on his, 2 different messages. The third should be, you know, I'm not in, please leave me, you know. 4.
Okay, so you want Todd included in that?
Yes,
Okay, so it's 3. Okay, I'm happy to do those changes if you guys are good with that.
okay.
I'll get with I forget his name.
Jeff something.
I'll get with Jeff and try to get that done by the meeting in December.
Sure.
Do you want me to go ahead and make the changes, or do you want me to just?
Yeah, make the
Okay.
changes. I think
All
that
right,
would be
perfect.
great. Are you good with
I'm
that?
good with that. it.
Oh, cause you were good with everything, you liked the way, and he's
Yep,
very,
it-
for
it-
me, he's very easy to work with, and we can get it knocked, I feel
Yeah.
confident we can get it knocked out, and so let's not
I
waste
think it's,
any
I
more
think,
time.
like I said, I think when it answers, it says if this is 911. I mean, the guy's voice is very clear. The language that was picked for that, not language, but I guess
Script,
script that was picked was excellent.
That's all him. That's
And I
definitely
think
all
he
him.
did an excellent job, or you guys putting it together did an excellent job. I just think that the one function that we need is to stay in touch with our residents.
I do think Nicole had some input, just so you know, I do think that now that I said that, but anyway, it was good working with him, and I'm happy to go back
Okay.
and do it.
So basically, a motion to make the changes, trustee Blevins will, take this challenge and move forward, to go to Jeff, our phone person. If there's no further questions from the board or changes needed, I would ask for a second
I will second.
and a vote when ready, ma'am.
Okay, trustee Fleshman,
Yes.
trustee Leeser,
Yes.
trustee Blevins.
Yes,
And the reason I wanted to make that a motion, so as Jeff says, well, hey, wait a minute, I don't wanna do this, this, and this, because no, we have a motion that the board, all three of us can cohesiveness, said yes, that we're gonna make a few changes. So that makes it easier on you. Okay. Moving right along.
There is no public comments.
Okay, no public comments?
hold on a second, we jumped over 6,
6.
under new business,
Yeah, I haven't even check marked it yet.
okay.
Discussion, the amendment of, resolution 2025-187, authorizing trustees to exclude agreement with Mark Smith, who is this? Manning Smith on behalf of the township?
This is the.
Oh, yes, yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so, Manning Smith Group, who, are you, I know that you and I had a discussion
Yeah.
about who was to take that over. And would you wanna take it over, or you're comfortable with me taking
No, I
that person
would
as a
rather
point
you
person?
take it over,
Okay,
but it's nothing to do with I don't want James to do
no,
it.
no,
James is not going to be with us in the
Right,
first of
right.
the year. And I think, I don't know how much we've got into this, if James has had discussions with them or not, but to move forward, it only makes sense to me. And James, you're a busy gentleman, you have a lot of irons in the fires and things like that. And we could just make this now, and we won't have to change it later.
No, and it'll give
Yes.
time, for me to work with John too.
Yeah, absolutely.
okay,
Only thing I asked, and this was already discussed in another meeting, we don't have to take it any further than that, is that I'm involved in it in every manner. Every decision, every conversation that's had with these people, I wanna be involved. I wanna know about it. You understand? Same as I'm
Absolutely.
doing to you. These two gentlemen came to the podium and I said, I'll handle it and I'll bring it back to you guys. Same thing I just said about the telephone thing.
Sure.
I'll handle it and I'll bring it back to you guys. I'm asking for the same in return, especially on this project.
sure. And to the public, what this Manning Smith and the project is the township was awarded a $1 million grant for the design of a boulevard to go through the Westland Mall site, so that it would connect and come out somewhere over by where like Key Bank is, and then it comes back over to where you turn in to go to Sheets, so that as the developer develops, you have a boulevard that would go through the property.
And it will be a public roadway.
Yes, and it would be our roadway too,
Yes.
correct? And so this is something that, with these discussions and design and stuff like that, I will bring back to the board.
Do
So-
we need to rescind or amend it?
So what we could do is amend it, and I was gonna turn to you, ma'am, if you would like to do the wording of amending and let us do our thing?
Yeah, I've got something kind of a draft
Sure.
together, cause I wasn't sure, I mean, based on, it was a discussion item on the agenda. And
Okay.
so I just put 2 resolutions together with the same number, one being rescinding depending upon the direction you went, or one amending depending upon the direction you went.
So-
So I would be reading the amended one.
If it's okay with the board, I'd say since we're only making a change in the contact person, that we would just amend it,
Yes.
and because it looks
Yeah.
bad when we
Good.
rescind it and then
Yeah,
put a
'cause-
new person.
No, I agree. I just didn't know based on
Okay.
your discussions, how things were gonna go, or if it was gonna stay the same. So I had brought these along
Okay.
just in case.
Perfect.
So would you like me to read?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the reason I wanna make sure, cause I think there was a little bit of confusion with the first resolution, cause when we said the Manic Group agreement, that was passed in a different resolution.
Correct.
So I'm quoting that resolution today, so that we specify the agreement, then we specify the representative. So does
Right.
that make sense?
That is correct. yeah.
Okay, so it's, this is gonna be resolution 2025-193, a resolution amending resolution 2025-187. It is whereas per resolution 2025-127, that the Manic Smith Group proposed a contract for professional services. And whereas the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, desires to amend resolution 2025-187, which is to authorize the adoption and execution of a representative to this agreement. Whereas the board finds it in the best interest of the township to adopt and enter into this amended agreement. So therefore be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, that the board hereby adopts and approves the form of the agreement between Franklin Township and the Manic Smith Group, together with any such changes or amendments so that are not inconsistent with this resolution or adverse to the township. The board also hereby amends resolution 2025-187 to authorize, empower, and appoint John Fleshman, trustee, representative, on behalf of the board and the township to execute the agreement and substantially the form on file with the township. The representative is further authorized to approve and execute any changes or amendments to the agreement, provided all other members of the board are notified of such changes, and such changes are not inconsistent with the resolution adverse to the township. Be it further resolved that the board finds and determines that all formal actions of the board concerning relating to the passage of this resolution were taken in an open meeting to the board, and all deliberations of this board that resulted in formal actions were any meeting open to the public in compliance with all legal requirements. And be it further resolved that this resolution shall be declared an emergency and be in full force, effective immediately upon its adoption.
If there's no further questions, instead, resolution being amended, I would ask for a second.
And I'll second it, and there's a little bit of discussion, I bet James is getting ready to tell me. Because he recused himself, you can't vote, right?
Correct.
So it'd just be me and John.
Yes.
Okay, so we have a second.
Okay.
Well,
I didn't know with her changing something.
I don't
no,
know.
I would have to vote. John would not be able to because this is amending taking me off and putting John on.
So by you voting would be, I can see where you voting definitely would be necessary because it's taking you off and putting me on. But also I think all three of us would need to vote because I need to be able to say, yes, I'm accepting it. Because if I
Yes.
wasn't here and the two of you voted for me and I didn't get my say,
Or you
then.
weren't available to do
Right,
it.
right. So I think we should just vote right across the
Yeah,
board.
I would agree. John, yeah, that falls underneath the Robert's Rules of Order because the first time I recused myself because it was naming me.
Okay.
This time we're amending.
Just trying to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yep.
That's why I don't mind taking the time to explain it, and that way everyone understands. Amending the resolution with taking me off of it, I can second it or vote on it. And it's amending, we're all in agreement with putting John on.
Right, because, and then we didn't make a resolution to it, so
No,
Okay.
So,
whenever
So I
you're
put-
ready for a roll call, we
so
have
Mike,
a
are you
second.
still
I did
still
second,
second,
yes.
okay, just wanna make sure, so now we're ready for roll call. Okay, trustee Fleshman.
Yes,
Trustee Leeser.
yes.
Trustee Blevins.
Yes,
Yeah, Mike, you made me scratch the gray matter today.
that's all right.
That's all right.
I'm trying to pick
It's
up
good
on
practice for me.
so now we're down to the public comments. That
There
threw
are
me
none.
for a minute. And I have, we don't have any, correct?
No.
Okay, so moving on, police department, Chief Smith, sir, if you would step up.
James, here's a-
You're all right. Good catch, though. Good catch.
Thank
That was
you.
a good point.
Gentlemen? Just got a few things here. I'll start. Do you have the MOU, Robin, that's on here for Children's Services?
Are
I
you
don't,
talking about the exhibit itself?
Yeah, I don't know that it requires a resolution. I know we do it every couple of years.
Right, I think it's best just because it's like an agreement.
Yeah.
So does the actual agreement will need to be signed, I need to go print that off, but if you wanna continue, I can excuse myself for a moment and go get the agreement,
Okay.
okay?
Yeah, so the amendment is between Franklin County, CPS and the township. You do it every couple of years. It's just an agreement basically so you can work together. And it's typically signed off by the chairman.
Okay.
I can
No,
remember that.
yeah, no
22.
monetary issue or anything like that. It's just something they send over to have signed. While she's doing that, I can go ahead and go into our stats. For October, we had 1,365 calls for service. It was a busy month. Halloween, I guess, maybe.
It's not even New Year's Eve yet.
Yeah, I know. 31 calls to assist other units, 43 domestics, 11 burglaries, 81 auto crashes, 14 mental health runs, 1 shooting, 4 persons with a gun, 18 stolen vehicles, 7 recovered stolen vehicles, 7 suicide attempts, 11 vandalisms, 19 threats or harassment complaints, 50 alarm drops, 7 assaults, 171 suspicious people / vehicles, 7 missing persons, 46 thefts, 12 juvenile complaints, 1 sex offense, 8 OVI related issues, 2 overdoses, 94 reports taken, 137 traffic stops, 81 citations, which also include arrest, and 20 vehicle impounds for the month.
So on the thefts, 7 recovery, are these cars that people steal and just joyride and park them? Or,
Yeah, typically, yeah. And we recover it either sitting on the side of the road or during the traffic stop or what have you.
okay.
What do you do in your spare time?
Just drive around, look for the next one. You know. So it was a pretty busy month. We'll see what the whole year brings us with November and December.
Sure.
Let's see, moving on. So John, you asked me to look into the sign, the Broad James sign on Humphrey.
Yes.
We talked to them. They said we don't keep a record of where we put signs, but if somebody calls us to enforce it, we will enforce it. However, we have to enforce it. They have to enforce it based on what the law says, meaning they cannot impound from the street or the easement. It has to be off of the private property,
Okay.
which we already know that. So yes, they do claim the sign. Yes, they will enforce it. Issues on 62 specifically with people parking on the berm on the other side of the white line, which is technically off of the roadway but still on the pavement. I was hoping, I did a lot of research, that because it's a state route it might be a little bit different. But without signage from ODOT, it is not illegal to park there as long as you are not beyond the white line towards the roadway.
Sure.
We've never written a ticket because there isn't one we can write. However, what we would typically do is tag the car for abandonment. We have to be careful with that because it's not illegal to park there. So in order to tag it, it would have to have some kind of obvious signs of abandonment, like flat tires, no tags, expired tags, something like that.
So there, I noted, I'm wondering if we can do something, if you can research this for me. On 62, we've had a lot of deaths of people being hit, on people on scooters, people on bikes, people walking. The going on the east side of the road, that's pretty wide and it's paved. I know some townships and some villages, they make that like a bike path or shared way path.
Mm-hmm.
Are we able to check with the state to see if we can get that as a pathway, whatever? And I know a lot of this, they put like little things down to try and make a barrier for people that walk. It makes it safer for people, the little reflector things that bend over.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have to be one every 6 inches, but are we able to make that like a shared lane? Like even on Klein Road, we have the bike lane. And that would give pedestrians, so it's a two-way on the east side going north and south. Being that it's a state road and there are no sidewalks, to make that more accessible, more of a friendlier, desired walkway that would be used for pedestrian traffic, maybe they would allow us to put something down through there to assure safety to people that travel up and down through there.
Yeah, I know Jim has a contact with ODOT, and we can reach out to them.
Yeah, I'd love to hear something, and maybe ODOT would say, yeah, we can do that. They paint the little bicycle and the walkway on there,
Yeah,
and then they also, they may put the curbs down through there, or whatever you call that thing that goes down through there, just a little buffer so cars know, hey, you're not supposed to be driving on that because you're coming at people.
right. That would be nice.
So, and then on the west side is not as deep. And
Right.
sir, I remember you having where vehicles would park there close to grandma's or right there on your street and offload. And then I noticed when I was using it on a Friday afternoon on a bicycle going up through there, I had to stop because someone was parked there and they didn't want to move, and I can't go around on this side because of a car lot. So I had to kind of wait until traffic is zooming and then go around them. And it's probably the same thing with that carryout where they like to park in that particular area to offload.
I agree.
So I think for the safety of residents, to have a shared bikeway or walkway to identify it as such can keep people a little bit more safer.
Mr. Chairman, you also might wanna tap into Linkus,
Yes,
as they're looking at different areas. They might be able to help with the cost
sure.
of putting those dollars down through there.
Yeah.
If the ODOT says, yeah, but we're not gonna pay for it.
Right, right.
But Linkus does have grant money
Yeah.
that may pay for that.
If
being
you
done
guys
through there.
have that information, if we can look into that to see what we can do, because that would make it a lot safer going up through there, because you know what it's like, from 3 o'clock on, it's pretty
Right.
busy through there.
Oh, it is.
I have the number of the liaison for Linkus if you guys need it.
Yeah, and I know like Brown Road, unfortunately, Brown Road, there's not even enough room like just for the white line.
Right.
Unless they do something down through there where we can actually add sidewalks with the Linkus.
Yeah.
Because I do know Steve had a numerous amount of sidewalks that were gonna go in, and that might be one of the areas that they're looking at. But with 62, we're talking, I'm gonna say 4 foot wide, easement, is not easement, but berm. I mean, it's pretty
Yeah,
wide.
maybe 3-4 feet.
Yeah, I mean, you can park a
Places.
whole car on it,
Yeah.
the width of a car, so that would give you directions both ways. But the
Just the
Brown
big
Road,
part.
definitely, that, and I know when I travel that, it's like, the car's coming from behind me, I have a mirror vibrating and I'm on a bicycle and I'm like, oh God, don't hit me. You know, or if I go like this to miss a pothole, am I gonna get hit? So that's very dangerous, so there wouldn't be enough room at this point to put that in, but that's not to say when they get the roundabout through and stuff like that, can we get a designated walk area down through there on one side to have a walkway to make it safe on Brown Road as well?
That would be
There again, Linkus through
Yes.
through the to the TSI or TSA, I think it's TSI program that Steve and I was working with Linkus on.
Sure,
Those sidewalks are going in Eastfield, Westfield,
okay,
but they are, Brown Road is a target area for the future along with Harrisburg Pike.
okay,
And if there's a solution already there without a lot of money, it
Yeah.
might be, it might come to fruition faster
sure.
than phase
Yeah, because
C.
we don't have to build anything, it's already there, there's the width of a car
Right.
and a white line, you know,
It's a
so,
lot more, it's less expensive for them to put up, traffic control,
device.
Device,
Yeah, absolutely,
than it is to put a whole brand new sidewalk all the way down through there. So they
Sure.
might be something to buy, Leslie might be something, be interested to take it up the ladder.
So I have.
Okay, ma'am?
Am I reading this resolution now, Byron?
Oh, yes.
Stepped out, I'm sorry. Okay. This is resolution 2025-188, a resolution accepting the 2025 Franklin County MOU for investigation of abuse and neglect. Whereas Ohio Law Revised Code 2151.4220-2151.4234, and we're gonna remember that one, and OAC 51803-1-26 requires each county to maintain a memorandum of understanding outlining agency roles in reporting, investigating, and prosecuting of child abuse and neglect. Whereas Franklin County Children's Services has prepared the required MOU in partnership with law enforcement, the juvenile court, the county prosecutor, Department of Jobs and Family Services, and other signatories, whereas participation in the Franklin Township ensures proper coordination with township personnel, encounters suspected child abuse or neglect, and supports the protection and welfare of the children in our community. Now therefore be resolved by the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, that the board approves the Franklin County Memo of Understanding to address child abuse and neglect attached as an exhibit, and authorizes the board chair to sign on behalf of the township. Law enforcement and township first responders shall serve as a primary contact for coordinating with Franklin County Children's Services and law enforcement under the MOU. Persons identified as mandated reporters per Ohio Revised Code Section 2151.421 shall comply with all mandated reporting and confidentiality requirements as outlined in the MOU and applicable law. And the deputy fiscal officer shall file a copy of this resolution and the executed MOU in the township's permanent records. Be it further resolved that this resolution shall be declared an emergency and be in full force and effective immediately upon its adoption.
If there's no said, I accept the resolution as read. If there's no further discussions, I would ask for a second.
I will second.
With the second, I ask for a roll call when ready, ma'am.
Trustee Fleshman?
Yes.
Trustee Leeser?
Yes.
Trustee Blevins?
Yes.
Okay, and this,
Goes to John.
that'll go, that's the contract agreement, and then there's the resolution.
Okay. Now, am I gonna sign both of these or just one?
And you just sign the contract or the MOU and the resolution both,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. Chief, is there anything else that you have for us?
No, sir, that's all I have.
Okay, at this time, I'm open the floor. Is there any questions for our chief? Seeing none, I will close the floor. Thank you.
I have a comment
Oh.
for him.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm not sure who, was on the call yesterday, but I got several people that, commented of our professionalism at Franklin Heights for that situation. And, they were very pleased at our conduct of our officers, so I wanted to,
Good.
I'm not sure who it is, you do,
It was
so
a good ball.
give them a kudos.
So I'll pass that on.
Can you share with me after the meeting, whole breakdown? I didn't hear about it, so I'd just like to know.
Good.
After the meeting.
Mhm.
Okay, perfect.
So next up, we have, coming to the podium
Just toss
is
it
the
around.
fire department, Chief Arnold, please.
Good afternoon. I will start off just with thanking the community and voters for passing our fire levy that solidifies Station 192 for at least 5 years. So thank you very much for that. It takes a lot of stress and weight off of our first responders, at least on the fire side. With that, I have our stats from October. We took 507 total incidents. We took 62 township runs. Out of that, there were 157 township runs total. 95 of those we received aid from mostly Columbus, but also Grove City, Prairie, etc. 2 building fires, 1 cardiac arrest, which we did get them to have a heartbeat back. So I'll get this to you guys, the monthly report. Questions on that? Excellent. Next item of business, I was asked by you, John, last meeting to fashion up a letter of gratitude to the Madison Township Fire Department, so I'll just read this. You guys are already aware of it. But for those of you who weren't privy, after the loss of one of our own, we obviously were a part of the funeral procession to pay respect to his service to the fire department and the community. Madison Township accepted volunteers and had way too many to actually staff our fire stations so that the community was still protected, and that allowed all of our department to be able to participate in the funeral procession for our brother. So, dear Chief Robinson and crews of Madison Township, on behalf of the Franklin Township Fire Department and the Franklin Township Board of Trustees, we would like to express our sincere appreciation to the Madison Township Fire Department for your generous support and donation of time and resources during Scooter's funeral services. Your participation, honor guard, and staffing our station brought honor to Scooter's memory and comfort to those who loved him. Your kindness exemplifies the brotherhood of the fire service and spirit of community service. We are truly grateful for your support during this difficult time. We all signed it, and then I will get that to
And you said that was Chief who?
Derek Robinson.
Robinson. I thought you said
He's the
Adams.
fire chief there.
I thought you was thinking Chaz Adams.
Chaz Adams is the assistant fire
Right.
chief.
I thought maybe
so
he moved up.
we will we'll knock that out. Next item of business is HR commitments. With the passing of Scooter, I was able to call back Thomas Hilliard. He was one of the firefighters that was laid off when we had to reduce our ranks. So it is with great pleasure that we were able to offer him his job back, and he willfully accepted. So with that, I can read the resolution to reinstate him.
Proceed.
So this will be Resolution 2025-189, resolution recalling Thomas Hilliard as a firefighter 3 for the Franklin Township Fire Department. The Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio met in person at a regular meeting at 12 noon on Thursday, November 13th, 2025. Whereas on June 5th, 2025, per resolution number 2025-079, the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, laid off Thomas Hilliard as a full-time firefighter paramedic for the Franklin Township Fire Department. And whereas, based on staffing requirements of the fire department, it is necessary, as outlined in the IAFF Local 1441 Collective Bargaining Agreement, to recall laid-off employee Thomas Hilliard. And whereas Thomas Hilliard was classified as a firefighter paramedic 3 at the time of layoff, and will resume employment at that same step level. And whereas the first day of employment under the recall shall be Tuesday, December 2nd, 2025. Now therefore it be resolved by the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, that the board hereby approves and authorizes the fire chief in accordance with the recall procedures of the IAFF Local 1441 Collective Bargaining Agreement to recall Thomas Hilliard to position of firefighter paramedic level 3 effective December 2nd, 2025. Be it further resolved that all former actions of this board concerning relating to the adoption of this resolution were adopted in an open meeting of the board, and that all deliberations of the board and its committees that resulted in such formal actions were conducted in meetings open to the public in compliance with section 121.22 of the ORC. Be it further resolved that this resolution is hereby declared an emergency and shall take effect immediately upon its adoption.
I accept resolution as read. Are there any questions on said resolution? Hearing none, I'd ask for a second.
I will second.
With a second, ma'am, whenever you're ready.
Trustee Fleshman,
Yes.
Trustee Leeser,
Yes.
Trustee Blevins.
Yes.
And I believe you have another one as well?
I do, so I would ask in preparation of that one for a motion to accept the resignation of firefighter Joshua Ames, effective at the end of his shift on 11/22, which would be the morning of 11/23.
So I have a
This year.
question on that. You said a motion. Generally, we hire them with a resolution.
This is a resignation to open the spot
Okay,
for the next one.
okay, but even when someone's resigning, do we take it as a resolution?
Motion.
Yeah, we do it as a
Okay.
motion.
Because we hired them as a resolution, so I was just curious, but carry on.
No, I just would like a motion to accept his resignation.
So I will second, I will accept the motion. Is there any questions from the board? Hearing none, I will ask for roll call, or second.
I will second.
Now that I have a second, I'll ask for a roll call.
Trustee Fleshman,
Yes,
trustee Lasers,
Yes.
trustee Blevins,
Yes,
thank you.
And then, I would ask to replace firefighter Ames, since we're not having a meeting on the 27th, and I'd like, this firefighter also to start. We are calling this firefighter back, but he was not technically laid off. He did leave because he was going to be laid off, but we rescinded those layoffs last seconds due to other resignations.
So that would be a
So,
rehire.
not, kind of, but not under, I didn't realize the verbiage of Hilliard's. So his won't, that verbiage won't technically apply to Lundy. But we can still use that resolution number. It's just a resolution will be verbalized differently than what's here. Cause I was just gonna read this one and change the names, but it doesn't really make sense since he wasn't actually laid off.
Chief, would you like me to make a resolution then?
Sure.
Mr. Chairman, you mind?
sure.
I'll make a, what is the resolution number?
194, or 2025-194.
I'll make a resolution that the Board of Trustees, Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, as we met in person at a regular meeting, business meeting on Thursday, November 13th at 12 o'clock, that we make a resolution to reinstate
Firefighter Patrick Lundy
firefighter Patrick Lundy.
at level 4.
Is it level 4? At level 4, as he has resigned recently, and I would make it due to manpower issues, and I would make
December 2nd.
this a effective immediately.
no, it's not right, is it?
I mean,
He's gonna come in on the same date as the
the
other
other
guy.
guy's coming in on December the
Is that
second.
what you said?
Yeah,
December.
December 2nd.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he'll come back in on December 2nd.
correct.
Effective December 2nd.
Perfect.
I will accept the resolution as read. Is there any further questions or discussions from the board? Seeing none, I'd ask for a roll call when ready.
Trustee Fleshman,
Yes,
trustee Laser,
Yes.
trustee Blevins,
Yes,
thank you.
And then that is all I have except for the temporary agreement that we discussed in the executive
sure.
session.
You wanna go ahead and brief us with the public?
For sure, just to catch the public up, Columbus Fire is remodeling Station 12. And they have asked for, during that remodel, if it would be possible to relocate some of their vehicles into Station 192 up on Sullivan and utilize the apartment next door here at 193's. We discussed it at length this morning, and we basically summarized that the benefit to the residents in our township down here at this end without Station 12, if they were to remove their trucks from there, the excessive response times to this area would be even more. And so we decided that the benefit is worth loaning our space out to Columbus if needed or when needed, as long as it was on a temporary basis.
And we're gonna share space
During a
with the
remedial, right, yeah, and then
equipment.
we would share space so that we had a Franklin Township representative and truck down here as well.
I don't think we necessarily decided, we discussed and we're about to.
I'm sorry,
decide.
yes, we discussed
We're
that.
about to decide as it goes across the board. I
Understood.
just would need to make sure that's clear, Bob.
No, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
So basically what is being proposed is that we will, for a limited amount of time, open up this station with the help of Columbus vehicle along with one of our own vehicles, anywhere from the point of 2 weeks to potentially 6 weeks, dates yet further to come. Mr. Blevins, if you're able to, since this is your area, you would be in talks with the city as well as the chief, so that we know an entrance date and an exit date. This is going to be a temporary thing in order to better serve the public here. As the chief said, if we pull that, if we tell them, no, we're in mutual aid, and this is what mutual aid we help. If we was to build a new station, then would they help us by letting us run a medic out of their area and stay with their firemen? And I think that they would. So as Mr. Blevins had said, that, you know, the people in this area has taken a hard enough hit as it is, that this temporary relief couldn't come at a better time through the winter season. People shoveling driveways, people doing things maybe they shouldn't do, and seconds count. So with that being said, I would, we're gonna ask for a resolution number, or do we not? So I'm gonna ask this to be resolution number, what's the number?
2025-195.
If there's, and as stated, if there's no further question in this, I'd ask for a second.
And the resolution is to allow for split stations
Correct, as I stated.
for up to 90 days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, we're saying up to 90 days, but we don't know for sure exact. Mike will get back with us with the exact, it may be 2 weeks, that'd be 14 days, or it could go up to 90 days.
I was just trying to make clarification for
Sure.
the resolution,
Sure.
and I will second that.
And if there's any other discussion,
I have nothing.
hearing none, I'd ask for a roll call when ready.
Just real quick.
Yes.
When this is put together in the loan, when the agreement is solidified, this is gonna go to our legal team for
Sure.
review.
Absolutely, yes.
So should that be like a little bit
Yes,
of a narrative
so
on the end of the
as an
resolution?
amendment to this, yes, the actual language of allowing said Columbus piece of equipment to come in and the resolution itself will then need to be recrafted by our attorney and agreed upon, or signed off by the board. The board's already, by this resolution, agreeing to the terms that are set forth. The language, therefore, the body of it will then be Julie's, just, you know, to make
And
it
there could be an
binding.
amendment if needed.
Right, exactly.
We're making the resolution today, though, to
Mhm.
explore.
Well, actually, to accept,
Accept it.
to
okay.
accept it.
So,
And then if the language needs to be done a certain way, then it will be done up to Julie.
can I
and then-
read my little
Yes,
narrative that I
please.
have, and then we
Yeah.
can
Please.
expand on it? So the resolution, is 2025-195, and the Board of Trustees, for a temporary time, is opening Station 193 for the Columbus Fire Department Station 12 to use while Station 12 is under renovation.
Can you add 192s to that also?
Okay, absolutely. And that trustee Blevins will be obtaining more details. As those details are compiled, then all will be sent to legal counsel to review and write. And if a necessary amendment to the resolution is needed, then it will come back to the board at that time.
Yes, so the board is agreeing that we are in agreement with this.
Mhm.
But any legal and et cetera, if anything needs to be changed, then we would come back later.
Mhm.
And the liaison for this would be Mr. Blevins, since that's his area that he's handling, and the board is giving him authorization to work with the chief and Columbus to facilitate the time schedule.
All right, so ready for a vote? Or do you guys
Yes.
need to, or do you
We
guys
already
need
have
to?
a second.
I think we're covered under.
Okay, so I make sure-
I think we're covered under Robert's rule.
Yeah, I think so, but I wanna make sure before I
Yeah.
start roll call.
That was just a clarification.
Correct. Okay, so trustee Fleshman,
Yes,
trustee Leeser,
Yes,
trustee Blevins.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Bob.
this is why I like to have them. Don't put the
Yeah.
work on you.
but I
right
mean,
here.
sometimes this is gonna come up.
It's
We
gonna
have to
come
do
up.
that.
Emergency
It's not,
situations,
it's,
yeah.
it's not that often,
Right.
Timing of
but
the
this is
essence.
important.
This is an important fact, and
Anything else, Bob?
I have nothing else, thank you.
Okay, yeah. Do you have anything?
No, I don't.
Do
I'm
you have
sorry.
anything
I
else? I'm gonna open the floor at this time, if there's any questions for our fire chief. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I'd like to know, if you have a count of how much the Columbus Fire Department is coming into this area that 193 would have taken?
So they don't break it down quite that simply, because run districts are so confusing with trucks always out on runs. But the city of Columbus as a whole took 157, I'm sorry. Columbus Fire took 95 runs in the township, either with or without our trucks. as part of our aid agreement last month in October. We took 62, they took 95. Some of those runs are both Columbus and Franklin on, but I don't have as much for this area, but I would assume the majority of that is down this way.
I wrote that down when you gave it as I'm getting a copy of that report, right?
Yes,
Okay, I'll just look up then, because you gave 152 or 157, and I wrote down
157 total
all
township runs.
It's just I'm tracking it, that's all. You know
Nope,
I am, so
Absolutely.
I wrote it down. But if I'm gonna get a copy of it, I'm not gonna worry about it, so thank you.
Yeah, so if you take the 95 and 62, and then
Sure.
that's how many runs we were on together from 157.
And you know, and some people may know, every morning I get a thing to my phone that Lieutenant Brockmeyer created for me. It shows me all the runs that the township fire department on Sullivan Avenue takes, whether they're in Columbus or they're in the township and everything. And I had a conversation last week with Bob, and there's no reason why, but it seems like they're picking up more runs in the township to me. And so I do look at it every morning. And so I just gonna put that information out there. I
Come
have
year
that.
end, we'll dive into those numbers
Sure.
and see where we're at.
Yep.
Okay. Any other questions? Hearing none, the floor is closed. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. And next, we're gonna go to, Road Department, Mr. Stevens.
Afternoon, Jim. Good afternoon. Hello, everybody. I only got a couple things here on the agenda. A little bit of an update on our building out back. Very glad to say that AEP has given us a 7 to 10 day window to get us hooked up for power coming in. Everything else is pretty much all done. The electric is about 98% installed. He's out there working today. We've got, everything's been painted, drop ceilings are in. The plumbers are gonna be coming in tomorrow to get all the fixtures and everything installed in the bathrooms. But everything, it's looking like hopefully here within the next couple of weeks, we'll be able to have everybody in and see exactly. It should be pretty much wrapped up. So that's a good thing.
You'll be cooking hot dogs and brats.
Well, we'll talk about that. But no, I'm just very tickled that everything is going the way that it is. If we all get a chance, you need to step in there and take a look at it. Other thing that I've got is I finally got the salt prices for the contract through ODOT that I get into every year for the township. The salt prices this year actually went up $6.41 a ton compared to last year. This year we're paying $69.97 a ton.
So for the people at home, when usually you load a truck, how many tons is that?
You're probably putting in maybe four
tons. So, and you said 60 some dollars?
Yeah.
So that gives a person 4 times, so gives them an idea of the cost when you see a truck out salting a full loaded truck.
Yeah.
How much carryover did we come into from last year?
We got about 100 tons still in the barn from last year, and we're in contract once again with ODOT for 200 ton for this year. It's one of those things, you run the gamut, you know, you keep your fingers crossed praying that it's not gonna be a terrible winter, but if you go back, wow, John, that would have been what,
4 years,
was it 4 years ago, or I thought it was a bit more than
It
that.
might have been like 17.
Yeah, where, I mean, we underestimated what Mother Nature was gonna give us, and we actually ran out of salt.
Well, it wasn't a complaint. It
Oh,
was
no,
just-
I'm just, yeah, it's a gamut that you have to run
Sure.
with.
We had to pay more that year to be able
Oh,
to
yeah,
get it.
we were lucky to be able to get it. One other thing that we had is and I'd given it to Mr. Leisure last meeting, but I don't think you brought that up for the tree removals.
I didn't know about it, and I let
Oh,
Mr.
okay. We have 2 trees that the arborist that takes care of us here at the township. We got 2 trees. We've got one down on Avis in between Richter and Hart that sits in the right of way and is about to fall into the roadway. And we have one on Richter Road. We got 2 trees that we need to have them taken out. We were given a quote for a total of $1,954. That's to take both trees out and grind the stumps out. So I would just need a motion, I guess, to move forward with this
Would
one.
we need a resolution on that?
I think we've done a motion in the past to,
I think we can do a motion
yeah,
because it's a PO.
Okay.
yeah, it'll be done on P.
Even though, so, I'd like to make a motion on said tree service that is needed on
Peterman's tree Tree Service.
what's the name?
Peterman Brothers. Tree
Peterman's
Service.
Brothers, Peterman's Trees. If there's no further discussion, I would ask for a second.
I will second.
So now that there's a second, I'd ask for a roll call.
Jim, I need to know where the trees are being removed from again.
We have one, it's on Avis between Richter and Hart. And then we have one at 1073 Richter.
And what was the amount again?
I'm sorry.
The
Oh,
amount?
the amount, $1,954, and that takes care of both trees. It was $977 apiece.
So the motion is to not exceed this number, gentlemen?
Yes.
Okay, all right. And so, all right, roll call. Trustee Fleshman,
Yes.
trustee Leeser,
Yes.
trustee Blevins,
Yes.
thank you.
Just a quick update on our leaf collection. We're going out daily. The leaves haven't all hit the ground yet, but when it does, we're gonna be pounding.
We're way behind this year though, aren't we?
Where the leaves falling?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but we're going out every day and we're still running the entire township with one machine right now and just trying to keep everything caught up. But so far, when I was talking to the guys there a little while ago, they were back out again today and they're pretty much caught up right now. So we'll keep our fingers crossed, but we're gonna get slammed sooner or later.
Yeah, and that's right when we're gonna need trucks for salt.
Yeah, I got a little bit scared this past weekend when they were talking about yeah.
Did we do anything on the roads this last one?
Didn't
Cause
have
it really didn't stick, did it?
No, your ground temperature, your road temperature was warm enough still that you were fine until you get out in the country where I'm at and it was not.
Or bridge.
Or bridges, yeah, bridges were bad. Last thing I really got is I just needed to bring it to the board's attention that, on December 10th, I'm scheduled for knee surgery. So they're hoping that possibly they can get it done and get it scheduled earlier than that, which I'm hoping that they do. But the closer we get to that date, I'll keep everybody kind of informed. You know, their recovery time, they say is X amount, but I'm gonna try to make it X amount. I'm hoping.
So just, go ahead.
I just wanna say, you don't ever have to come up to the podium and give your, information like that out, just so you know.
Oh, no,
It's personally
no,
up
that's
to
fine.
you, I'm not trying to, but I'm just saying it's not necessary.
It's no big deal to me.
Okay.
I'm
I
not
would
very
agree,
hobbling
I would
around.
agree with Mike, you could have emailed us and we'd have been fine with it,
I
but.
just wanna let you know.
So at this time, I'm gonna open the floor for any questions for our road department. Yes.
Jim,
Yeah.
a lot of us don't know we know what's gonna happen down at Farrington Brown. But do you have any information about it that you can maybe share?
The only thing that I know is, granted, they are putting the 2 roundabouts in down there. Now, I have a set of plans in the office. Other than that, they really haven't kept me in the loop much at all about it.
When are they gonna start?
Haven't even heard. I know they're doing a lot of surveying down in that area right now and just getting things ready. Haven't heard.
I heard spring.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that, but yeah, haven't really heard a positive start date on it yet. But if
Is there-
I'll reach out and see what I can come up with.
Is there any
Thank
rumors
you.
on Hopkins and Brown?
Yes,
Who answered?
Mm-hmm.
It's going into?
They're still doing the one on Hopkins and Brown, to my knowledge.
I think it's gonna come in after these 2 are put in.
Huh?
I think it's coming in when these 2 are finished.
Hopkins and Brown.
Yeah.
At the carryout and the dog?
But if I find out of any specific start dates, I'll let you know, Jen.
Okay, thank you.
Do we know with
Good
the
luck with your.
roundabout that's
Yeah.
going in, that, looking at that where they're setting the poles and stuff back, are those like Mr. Tent and that carry out or drive through? Is that even gonna be able to be there? I mean, you're gonna be right up against the building.
They've changed it a little bit, a couple times, but I really, like I said, what I've got is a 75% submittal on plans. I haven't seen the 100% exactly the way everything's gonna lay in there, but I don't know how they can put it in there without
Yeah, I was just,
carry out.
I mean, I'm looking at it as they're moving things and I'm like, there's no possible way. That's so close anyway, so. Okay, well, thank you very much.
Right.
Did anyone else have anything else for the road department? Hearing none, the floor is closed. Thank you.
When will construction start, do you know?
That I don't know yet, Barry. I don't know when, we don't have no definite answer on that, but I'll try to find out something.
Will they be shutting it down once the Frank Road, will they shut that down?
We heard it's gonna be down to like one lane going both ways.
Yeah, I think it's not gonna be a hard shutdown like they normally do.
I think they're gonna try to maintain one lane both ways, which would make it.
So up next, we have the Physical Department, Janet Ward, Deputy Fiscal Officer, you're up next,
So, I have a motion to approve accounts payable.
okay?
Be it resolved by the Board of Trustees, Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, that the board makes a motion to approve accounts payable from October 29th, 2025 through November 10th, 2025. In the amount of $250,265.81 from check numbers 70828 through 70835.
I accept the resolution as read. Is there any questions on said resolution? Hearing none, I'd ask for a second.
I'll second the motion.
Having the second, I will ask for a roll call.
Trustee Fleshman.
Yes.
Trustee Leeser.
Yes.
Trustee Blevins.
Yes.
Thank you.
So I also have a resolution to approve the Pitney Bowes contract renewal. That is for our postage machine and the lease for it. So, I'll read the resolution. The Board of Trustees, Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, met in person at a regular meeting at 12 p.m. on Thursday, November 13th, 2025. The trustees whereas the Franklin Township operations require postage and mailing equipment and services supported on daily operations. And whereas Pitney Bowes has submitted a renewal for 60 months agreement at the rate of $34.43 per month, billed quarterly at $103.29. Now whereas it be resolved that Franklin Township Board of Trustees hereby approves and authorizes entering into a 60-month contract with Pitney Bowes for mailing services and equipment at the stated rate. And be it further resolved that the Deputy Fiscal Officer is authorized to sign all documents necessary to execute the agreement and take any action needed to carry out this resolution.
I accept the resolution as read. If there's no further question, I'd ask for a second.
I will second.
Having a second, I would ask for a roll call.
Trustee Fleshman.
Yes.
Trustee Leeser.
Yes.
Trustee Blevins.
Yes.
So I've been doing some research and such, I was trying to get through some of the, making payments and doing some reconciliations. There is a credit card policy out there that says that it needs to be reviewed by the board and then there needs to be signed off by the chairman. I did put the packet or the statement and all of the supporting documents on the board for.
Yeah, I think I
your
signed those
signature and-
already.
No, you
If
didn't.
anyone wants to look at
You
it.
said you're taking it home.
This one here, yes, this is
No, it's a pretty big,
No,
It's the thing when you
right here. I've got it right here. So,
so if anybody needs to look at it, I guess.
yeah, so how quick do you need to send? Like Thursday I'm in for payroll, right?
You're in next week, yes.
Yeah, so what I can do is I'll go through this because it's basically saying by signing this, I, John Fleshman, Chairman of the Board of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, has attested that I have read and reviewed the monthly credit card statements with a closing date of 10/19/2025. So in the time frame of this meeting, rather than just breeze through it, I want to make sure that I do my due diligence, just look through it. And if I have questions, I will reach out to you. And then I will have this back with my signature no later than probably Thursday or the next cycle that I have to be in for, what you call
We're
it?
meeting on Tuesday.
There's a
Or
meeting on
Tuesday, I can have it by Tuesday, yes.
Yeah.
So,
But if the other two trustees wanna look at it, it's there. We only have one copy. We don't have copies
Sure.
for everyone.
sure.
I'll
I'll have
just
it.
look at it after you get back.
Okay.
Fine.
No
You
problem.
take it and get it done.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Also, we do not have the October bank reconciliation done at this point in time. There was a few outstanding items that needed to be researched. I did speak with Mr. Kirby yesterday on where that status is, and he has not worked on it further, based on that he was working on the budget for next week's meeting. So by the November meeting, I should have something for the October status.
Okay.
Also wanted to, I attended a training session yesterday, and during that, it indicated that From a fiscal standpoint, we need to let the board know some, where our standings is basically in the dollars and what's in our accounts, whether it be the bank account or our investment funds. So I did wanna let the board know and the residents obviously that we have approximately 8 mil in there. But again, that's our investment and our bank. But that also needs to carry us until mid-April of 2026, because that's when we're gonna first start getting in anything, from property tax states. But also that will include payroll, any regular expenses that we have going out. I mean, I do have payables that need to be paid. Plus any year-end expenditures, such as insurances, BWC, risk management, those type of bigger expenses are gonna come out of that also.
So I just want to clarify, I know what you meant by 8 mil, but a lot of times we just pass a levy and they talk mil each. This is $8 million
We have
in the
about
account.
$8 million.
Okay, gotcha.
Between the 3 accounts that we got.
Okay, thank you.
So, and basically also that, I'm trying to look through some policies, that's where that credit card one came up. Just getting more familiar with what's going on over there. And then I did do the training yesterday, which was very informative, so.
Yeah, this is one of the things before that the state wanted to see that we may have not been doing correctly, and now we're doing correctly. Anything else for us?
Nope.
Any questions from the board?
No, I just wanna thank Janet because this is very informative, to have somebody, and this is no knock, please don't anybody think, but this is, helps a lot to have this just come through like that and
Sure.
the message. So I just wanna say thank you.
So at this time, I would like to open the floor if there's any questions for Janet, our Deputy Fiscal Officer. Hearing none, I will close the floor, and thank you very much, Janet. Moving on to administration, Robin, I'll turn this part over to you.
Okay, I just have a motion to approve some payroll. So this is a motion to approve payroll. Be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, that the board makes a motion to approve the employee payroll for the pay period of October the 19th through November the 1st in the amount of $267,599.76. Direct deposit on November the 7th. Electronic vouchers 2807-2025 through 2911-2025, and there's exhibits.
I accept the motion as read. If there's no further questions, I'd ask for a second.
I'll second.
Having the second, I'd ask for a roll call.
Trustee Fleshman?
Yes.
Trustee Leeser?
Yes.
Trustee Blevins?
Yes.
Thank you. You see on that? Just a second. It is here. I have another payroll to do. Be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, that the board makes a motion to approve the township officials payroll for the period of October 1st to October 31st in the amount of $9,323.50. Direct deposit via ACH November the 3rd, electronic vouchers 2797-2025 through 2800-2025, and there's exhibits.
I accept it as read. Any other questions? Hearing none, I'd ask for a roll call.
Give me a second.
You need a
Oh,
second.
If there's no
I'll
further
second.
Yeah, thank you.
I didn't mean to stare at you, Trustee Leeser, but usually you second
Yeah.
when he asks.
I
I'm
know,
like,
no.
Second?
Yeah, apologize.
I was waiting on him to ask for it.
Now,
no,
with-
you're fine,
Now
you're
with
fine.
the second,
Yes.
I would ask for a roll call.
Right, no problem. Trustee Fleshman?
Yes.
Trustee Leeser?
Yes.
Trustee Blevins?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. All right. As we do every year, the Ohio Township Association has their winter conference. And I wanted to just give you this information. This is just informational purposes and to let the board, if they would consider, we don't have to make a motion or anything at this point, but maybe the next meeting, we can put together who you would consider to go to the conference, like if I can get a list, because normally we attend,
Sure.
but it's at the board's discretion who attends.
Okay.
So I would just like to bring this to your attention. There's the dates. It's actually Wednesday, February the 4th, through Friday, February the 6th. Early registration allows us to get a better, I think a better price. If we do pre-registration by January the 9th, we get a little less, we pay less. I think it's 135.
Okay.
And then when we go past January 9th, I think the price goes up slightly.
50 something.
Yeah, so just keeping in mind, if we can, between
Sure.
now and January 9th, if we can, get the list,
Okay.
then that way it would save the township a little bit of money on the pre-registration side.
Sure.
And then it lists on here some pricing as well, but I wanted to bring that to your attention, and, hopefully we can get approved to attend the
Sure.
conference. Okay.
I'd like to say that even if you and Janet are wishing to go, I think that there's good courses to be had there. I know myself, I think the only year I missed was the COVID year. Brenda, I think you've shown that you may want to go to it this year as well, correct?
Yes.
So I know I want to, and I know Ally likes to go with me, so I'll pay for that one. I don't know if I can put it on and pay here, or if I should just keep it separate and pay there.
There's a place on here for guests.
Yeah.
There's a price on there, they're at the bottom right-hand corner, so I think it can all be done at registration time if you would choose,
Yeah.
or you can choose to do it on site when
Okay.
you arrive, that's
I
your
just didn't
discretion.
want to, I didn't know if, cause I can pay here,
Mhm.
and I didn't want, with, I call it the Mark Long type thing, I don't wanna do something that's wrong. If I'm bringing a guest, do I need to pay on site? But if we can pay here, and when we're ready to, I'll just see you and
Right, I
pay.
can get you the steps on
Yeah.
what we need to do,
Yeah.
if you'd like to do it that way.
Okay, is that good with everyone?
I just wanna get clarification, just only because, I'm going to go and I will, at my own expense, the last time I went, I stayed and everything, and so I just wanna clarify. You're saying you would like for Robin to attend?
I think, here's what I would say. In us working together, what we do here, I think it's very beneficial that all of us can take any continuing education courses that can help you better in your job. It's proven valuable at this table when we have the more knowledge that we have. I will say I like it when I make a mistake and then you correct me real quick, because it only helps us. And Mike, I'm not gonna stay there, I'm gonna go back and forth, but I mean, even if, Robin, you was to wish to work from there, I'm sure the board will bring that up. If you stay there and you're working remotely, and then you could do the courses in between, I think that's even better for the residents of this township. So, yes.
So I'll, go off of what you said, James, I enjoyed the first year that you took me around and introduced me, and I can't remember the ladies' names, but we had something called Donuts with Someone. You remember her name probably better than I. And they have it is work, but the things that unfortunately register in my mind, like the donuts, obviously. And Byron, you could relate.
He needs somebody on his side. Come over here.
I can relate.
And I read all the material, and there's like a casino night, so if I'm gonna be there, I'd like to participate, mingle, meet the other
Yeah, absolutely.
people. I actually, Robin and I ran into family there. Someone in my family was a new fiscal officer in another township, and it was odd and everything. But it is a good working thing. I didn't go last year out of protest for a reason of my own, but I do want to attend this year to try to gain more knowledge.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
I know sometimes that I've had a question, I'm like, no, I know the answer to that because I took the course. I know you can do X, Y, and Z, and then we check with Julie, and it's like, yep, and you can do that. So the amount of knowledge that you get from some of those is phenomenal, and especially what we're doing with the junk cars and things of that nature. I know there's a lot of townships in Ohio that, small townships, I've talked to other people that are trustees, and they say, we don't bother with that. I'm like, you could benefit to your community so much more, because knowledge is power. So
I remember,
Even
this is
the-
last
like-
I'll say, but like, we all three worked it together that first year I went. You went into a session, John went into a session, and I went into a totally different session.
Yeah.
So we could all share the information.
Yeah, absolutely.
There was another time where I looked up, we all three
We're in the
were
same
in
class.
one session, but it was something that we needed to do. But that's all I want to
And the
say.
social events is very important because it's a great networking tool. It is.
Yeah.
And it was Heidi Fott. Furnished with Fott.
Yeah, that's what it was. There you go.
So, okay, ma'am. and-
Took me a minute to scratch the gray matter.
Okay, so now I have resolution, 2025-191. This is a resolution authorizing additional contractual hours for accounting services provided by Chris Kirby. Whereas on March 6th of 2025, Resolution 2025-037, the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, entered into a contractual agreement with Chris Kirby for accounting services. Whereas Resolution 2025-037 approved up to 180 hours of service. Whereas to date, Chris Kirby has worked, worked over 160 hours of the approved 180 and is requesting an additional 180 hours based on the fiscal needs of Franklin Township. Whereas Chris Kirby is currently under contractual agreement with Franklin Township and wishes to continue to provide services to ensure compliance with fiscal and accounting requirements. Now therefore be resolved by the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, that the board hereby approves and authorizes the continuation of contractual services provided by Chris Kirby. The continued agreement shall include an additional 180 hours at a rate of $47 per hour. The Board of Trustees recognizes the importance of this position and the continued support of Chris Kirby, what he provides to maintain the township's fiscal compliance and operational efficiencies. Be it further resolved that all formal actions of this board continue concerning and relating to the adoption of this resolution were adopted in open meeting to the board, that all deliberations of the board and its committees that resulted in such formal action were conducted in meetings open to the public in compliance with section 121.22 of the Ohio Revised Code. Be it further resolved that this resolution is hereby declared to be an emergency and shall take effect immediately upon its adoption.
I accept the resolution as read. If there's no further questions from the board, I'd ask for a second.
I will second.
Having the second, I'd ask for a roll call.
Trustee Fleshman?
Yes.
Trustee Leeser?
Yes.
Trustee Blevins?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Excuse me. This resolution, the next one is a supplemental appropriation number 5. Normally, the content of the data is in an exhibit, so is it okay that I not read all of these numbers? I can explain what they mean.
Yes.
I've looked over them, yes.
Okay,
I'm good with that.
Okay. Because due to the end of the year, we've had to move some monies around that were unappropriated in the same departments. They just were not appropriated. We've had to appropriate those because we're getting close to the end of the year. Funds are getting tight. So that's what some of this means. And then also, we've had to move a little bit of money around for the roof for the fire department because we had the repair, and then we had the deductible come out, and then we had to pay that money for the roof, which was not appropriate. We had money, but it wasn't appropriated for such an expense. So kind of explaining a little bit of why some of the dollars, why the supplemental has to happen. So this is a resolution providing amendments and revising specific line items and appropriations of expenditures for Franklin Township in the calendar year of 2025 and declaring it an emergency. Whereas necessary to revise and establish appropriations for Franklin Township expenditures, whereas this resolution constitutes as an emergency providing for the daily operations of the township, now therefore be resolved by the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, and it's declaring an emergency. And then there's a whole list of the general fund. There were some revisions within the general fund. There was some revisions within the permissible motor vehicle tax. We had some negative money from the SAFER grant, so we had to supplement that with some additional funds out of the other departments. So just so you know what we're doing here and why, and be it further resolved that the board finds and determines that all former actions of the board concerning relating to the passage of this resolution were taken in open meeting of the board, and that all deliberations of the board result in such former actions of the meeting open to the public in compliance with all legal requirements. Be it further resolved that this resolution shall be declared an emergency and shall be in full force and effective immediately upon its adoption.
I accept the resolution explanations with the resolution 2025-192. If there are no further questions in said matter, I'd ask for a second.
I will second.
With the second, I ask for a roll call.
Trustee Fleshman?
Yes.
Trustee Leeser?
Yes.
And Trustee Blevins?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so.
And then just one quick thing.
Sure.
When Janet was reading the resolution for the Pitney Bowes contract, and again, this is her first time reading, so
Sure.
this is all good. It's resolution 2025-190.
Okay.
Because she just, didn't realize.
I didn't catch that.
No, it's all good. It's her first time, I think she did a great job.
Well, you're good, you're fine.
Good though.
You know, it's almost like when you're doing something live on stage and you got whoop, retake.
We have an audience, so.
Oh,
It's not just an audience.
But that's the only thing I wanted to put on record was her resolution on it.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Okay, so next up, Mr. Leeser, comments?
Yeah, I have a comment. Miss Brenda Fuller, I'd like to congratulate you on your win. I wish you the best of luck as the next trustee here in this seat. And if I can be any assistance, please reach out.
Thank you, Jim, I would appreciate that.
I like to thank everybody. It was, I don't know, I probably put more work into something and, that's the only thing I know is to go to 3,300 doors and knock on them and talk to people. And I've met people that are upset with things the way, you heard us talk about the phones. But it's an honor because I look at the percentages, the votes and stuff, and it's like basically like a grade card to me. I take it as a grade card. Where do I need to do better? What do I need to listen to? What do we need to do? And so it was really good to talk to the amount of people that I did get to talk to, and to serve another term, another 4-year term after 12 years. I am very thankful because I still have a lot that I want to try to do for the township. We've come a long ways. I just wish things would move faster in public service as it does in private service, but it doesn't. I'm anxious to see. Yeah, I'm anxious. It took 11 years to see the mall come down, and that was something that was my biggest achievement that I wanted to see when I became trustee. But some of the things that are coming in, I want to thank everybody for the passage of the fire levy of 63 votes. That means a lot because I'm going to say this here. We came within 63 votes of not having a township again. 63 votes. What would have happened? It wouldn't have mattered. We would have been dissolved into the city. If you cannot provide fire and police, then you would automatically have been dissolved. So we do have time now to look at our options and see if another levy to open up both stations permanently, to look at what a township-wide levy would do, where people that has annexed, properties that have annexed, would help pay the cost too, to make it affordable for everyone, and that would be permanently. So as we are being, as I use the words, inundated, last meeting I sat here and signed a letter that 15.2 acres went into the city of Columbus. And I keep preaching this. You look at the property, what property tax were they paying on 15.2 acres? I'm going to say $2,000 a year. I don't know. It wouldn't be that much since it's just trees and dirt, basically. And now when they annex it and they put $20 million apartment buildings on there, imagine your tax bill come every January on a $20 million piece of property, which now would go into the city instead of into the township. So by us being able to find a way to have a township-wide levy, to want the developers to keep it in the township. As I asked the gentleman that was the attorney here, why didn't you keep it in the township? And his comment back was, well, it was policy of the city. Well, policy doesn't dictate law. You know, it's not unlawful to have the water and sewer to stay in the township. So I had a hard time accepting that verbiage of what they're saying. Why they chose to go into the city is because of their practice of what policy is. So I do want to thank everybody. I'm looking forward to serving the people of Franklin Township, and I look forward to what's to come. Brenda, I look forward to working with you. I know I've worked with you on all the annexing that was around you and what we've been able to accomplish up there. So at this point, Mike, I would turn over to you to see you're next.
Well, I'll pick up off of where John ended. So congratulations, Brenda and James. I've enjoyed, I know we have a little bit more to go, but I've enjoyed working with you, sir. And so I wanted to bring something up. I wasn't going to do it this year, but when the levy got passed and everything, and to thank the residents of the township, I'm going to offer to do the pictures with Santa again this year for 2 weekends. So, and I've talked to the staff and they're willing and able to help. So I'm going to present that I'd like to do pictures with this with Santa on December the 6th and the 13th from 9 to 12 right here at 2193 Frank Road. There will be no charge for these pictures. If you would like to make a canned donation or self-stabled food or a monetary donation to Helping Hands Food Pantry that's located right here in the township, they are able to feed over 220 families every week in our township. If you'd like to make a donation, we will have someone on site to accept the donation from that organization. It is not necessary. The pictures are free. It's just if you would like to help out. I reached out to Santa Claus to see if he could stop by again today, but he was busy. The Grinch volunteered, but I told him it was not necessary. So there'll be more information to come out on this in the next, I literally just put this together, in the next week or so. So if you can check at the township website, which is franklin-townshipohio.gov. Did I get that right, Pam?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Having trouble reading my own writing. Just wanted to remind everybody that we have a meeting on Tuesday the 18th at 12 noon to do the 26th budget and to do the insurance. And then lastly, I saw communications yesterday between the auditor's office and the sent to us trustees, and John, you forwarded it on to legal, and I question the forwarding that on to Julie. We as trustees, in there you stated that we don't have an administrator. He was wanting to know who to contact. So if we don't have an administrator, should he not have contacted us?
Well, the reason that I forwarded that on is because of the FFRs and the things that were in there before. If Julie had been working with Steve on that, and he, in my opinion, mine's thought is that she is very up on all the, what I'm gonna call challenges or mistakes that were made. And she would be able to look it over and then challenge anything prior to us getting to us.
Okay.
And then once we get it, we know that she's looked at it, and then we can set that date for a closing and be done with it.
So I had a conversation with Julie before that, so I would have had, my conversation would have been not yesterday, so it would have been Tuesday. And I'll just tell you what she said. She was not, she was shocked to find out of all the things that I'd been left out as a trustee the past year, of decisions and things like that, that was orchestrated by Mr. Mazur and things like that. So it's important to me, and she said that I would be, that I'm copied in every piece of everything that comes across, especially on the audit. And I'm just gonna leave it at this. I find it funny that the audit is now ready to be presented 1 week after the election.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just leave it at that. I don't have anything else to say.
Well, I also, I apologize if I did not include someone. I thought I included everyone on that email to Julie saying the contact person, should be, since we didn't have an administrator, did I?
You included me, but the problem is, you guys are always telling me that no one trustee makes a decision, and I felt like you made the decision to have Julie, and I'm not upset about it.
Sure.
I just want to be included. I'm happy to go on here. Like, I walked in last week in the middle of a meeting with the people from Westland Mall, and I had to get in, and I didn't even know the meeting was going on. I had went to the firehouse, and you know this.
Right.
I went to the firehouse to conduct business with Bob, and you were sitting there with a meeting with yourself, the representative from Westland Mall, Byron, and Dave, and you're having a meeting, and I said I was happy to leave. I didn't know you guys were having a meeting and everything, and then you introduced me to the guy, and then you said you should leave because you can't have two trustees and
Right.
all that and everything, and I had a discussion with the guy, gentleman, very nice man, I'm happy, but this is the first time I've been here for 2 years, damn near, and this is the first time that I've had an opportunity to meet with these people from Westland Mall, and it's a little bit disturbing, and it isn't from a lack of effort on my side.
Sure.
So that's the type of stuff that I'm talking about.
Right, right. And, you know, I was filling in for that. I only had a 15-minute notice that meeting, I was asked to be at that meeting. So
I'm not
I
gonna
do
go in-
apologize.
I'm not gonna go into great detail because I don't wanna reveal it, but they literally sit there and presented something to me and wanted to know how I felt about it. And I felt terrible in having to say, but I said, no, I wouldn't support that.
Okay.
And I'm not playing games with people, it's just not, I'm not privy to talk about it, and I feel like I've already overspoke today, but it's concerning that I do my very best to sit up here and work as a team, and every time I turn around, I'm left out of important decisions, and it goes all the way back to, I'm not gonna go there. That's
Okay.
it, sir, that's all I
Okay.
got.
I understand. And I've been in your position before, and I try to make sure that everybody is included. And then as chairman of the board, when I said that, knowing that this audit has been going on as long as it's been going on, and knowing that Steve and our attorney have been working together, in my mind's eye, I thought, okay, at least let her look it over before it's given to us, so that we don't have to do it backwards, giving it to us, and then us turn around and give it to her, that we would all be included once she's had her eyes on it, and then we can have the out meeting, and any of us have any questions, we could all ask at the same time. So my method of thinking on that was just that, let's let Julie, since she is the one that crafted a lot of the information that was inadequate or not corrected, or correct, and they came back with, yes, I guess you're correct on that. But my apologies to that. So at this time, I'm going to ask if there are any quick questions that someone may have come up in the meeting before we adjourn. Hearing none, I'm going to close the floor. So the time is now approximately,
12:04.
yeah, well, I've got
John,
6, yes.
Before you hammer that, I would like to say something.
Go ahead,
real
sir.
quick. It came to my heart
Yeah.
earlier today. So everybody, I want to say to everybody, have a nice Thanksgiving, and because the public will not be here before the next meeting, you can be, but we're going to be in here next Tuesday. But with everything that's happened to us here as a township, as a family, and everything that's happened to me personally, at the exact same time that we lost our firefighter Scooter, I also lost a daughter. And I want to say to everybody, if you get the opportunity at Thanksgiving or any time, to reach out and hug your kids a little longer, and thank God if you still have your parents, and just take thanks in the holiday, because life is not guaranteed. And we found out here. We found out the hard way, and we've been kicked. And just think about that a little bit this year on Thanksgiving.
And Ralph too.
And yes, ma'am, 100% Ralph Horn.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's all, sir. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. So the time now is approximately 2:07. I'd like to make a motion to approve the 11/13/2025 audio video meeting summary of official minutes of record of meeting. Next regular business meeting is scheduled on December. We're not doing the 11th, or
We are doing the
It'll be
11th.
December 11th.
okay, I want to make sure, December 11th, 2025 at 12 p.m. So with that being said, we are adjourned. Thank you all for coming out.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Wait a minute, you can't adjourn.
What?
Without you.
You can't adjourn. You have